Hi, this is Nitesh. Welcome to your face reading channel. In today's video, I'm going to share some of the fascinating insights of three amazing cricketers in Rishabh Pant, Rohit Sharma, and Virat Kohli. Through their faces, we are going to learn the five elements. What are their transformations that they have experienced over the years when they were in their 15 to 19 age bracket versus what they are today? We are going to learn about the meaning of five elements. We are going to delve deeper into their faces, some of the facial traits on their face that may resonate to the trait that you also might be having. It's important to learn the meaning of those facial traits because they can indicate the potential that you possess in your life. It's important that you unleash your personality the way they have done, the way these cricketers have demonstrated qualities into their life. It's important that you unleash yours as well. Taking their pointer from their face, it's important. If you have those features in you, make sure that you unleash your potential in the best possible way. So let's deep dive into the magic board to learn about the strength they possess, the strengths of their face, the strength of their elements, which are different for the three of them for sure. And you're going to uncover all of that in the magic board. So let's go deep dive into it. Welcome to the magic board, guys. Herein, I have captured in pictures of three amazing cricketers of the Indian cricket team. And as I mentioned in the introduction, we are going to delve deeper into their personalities, into understanding their qualities through the filter of five elements, and whether the qualities that they display are they actually present on their face. Can somebody tell from their face that they are aligning with what they are saying with respect to their personality? So what I have done with respect to their pictures is I have taken their pictures of the modern times, that means very recent to the time I'm shooting this particular video. I have taken in picture a few days back, of course, from the internet. And what I have also done is I have taken in pictures of their past, especially of their teenage or when they were starting out their career, because the aspect of noticing the transformation is very eminent in face reading. It's important that once you're reading pictures, once you're reading your life, once you're reading a certain set of marking on the face, it's important that you take picture of different timelines to gauge what you have come alongside, especially from past to your present, right? So here in this picture, if you see, I have taken of their past. This is Rishabh Pant, Rohit Sharma, and Virat Kohli. For all those who are not aware about the Indian cricketers or cricket in general, cricket is a game and it's very much similar to baseball. And these are some of the quality players in the Indian cricket team. And because they are publicly known for their qualities, also for different set of qualities that they possess, I thought that will be great to learn the aspect of five elements through their faces, how you can spot these elements on people's face and on their face. And if you have these characteristics, these facial traits in your face, it can definitely indicate that certain set of potential is present in you. It's about how you are unleashing that potential to bring out the best version of yourself, right? So these are the pictures of their past, which means when they were in their teenage, especially from 15 to 19 age bracket is what you can consider these pictures are of. Then I have taken in the pictures of the present time. These are all pictures roughly of the present time for Rishabh Pant, who is this amazing gentleman. I am a big fan of his play, and he actually has had a great, or what I say, a very unfortunate accident in the last year, which kind of has suspended his life. He was not able to walk, and he has made a recovery 1.5 years to now. He's now playing in the Indian cricket team back with a bang, and he's playing pretty well. Looking at his face, you can gauge the amount of courage, the amount of stubbornness to play, the amount of fire that is in him. I am going to explain all of that in the later segment. This is Rohit Sharma. He's the current Indian captain as of now when I'm shooting this video, and we are going to demonstrate some of his qualities. These are all his present pictures. This picture is of past, which will help us seeing some of the facial traits better on his face, and you'll also learn to appreciate how faces evolve over the years and what it could mean when you add a certain set of elements and cut a certain set of elements from your face. Here in a concept of epigenetics, or that your face is evolved basis on the emotions that you have experienced, basis on the life circumstances that you have gone through, influences your face. You're going to have a clear demonstration of that. Then this is Virat Kohli. He was the former Indian captain and is one of the great Indian batsmen of the modern era, and we are going to learn through his face as well, right? But firstly, we'll go through the pictures of these gentlemen when they were young, and we are going to filter out some of the prominent looking traits on their face. We are going to decipher that meanings. We are also going to compare maybe their past face to their present face and what has changed. I'm going to demonstrate that. It's going to be a lot of face reading tutorial unpacked for you within this video. So stay through this video because you're going to learn a lot about yourself, about these wonderful gentlemen, about their qualities, and you have those qualities in you as well. So it's important, once you identify your primary element basis on your facial trait, it means that you have the potential to make it through, to make it count. So let us deep dive into their face, right? So the very first thing that I observe when I see three of them, and when I focus on Virat Kohli, is his very strong and prominent eyebrows. If you see, he has the most set of thick eyebrows, and that is a very prominent feature on his face, right? So I'll just mention it here for the kind of thickness that he has, the thick eyebrows. Let me just make it a little thin. Right, so thick eyebrows is something which is a standout feature of Virat Kohli's face, right? Also, there is some cheek padding that you could see on his face, right? There is quite a decent amount of flesh on his cheek, right? And when you have significant cheek padding on the face, it represents a sort of extra earth on your face, and when there is extra earth on your face, it indicates that you want to have a sense of sensual enjoyment, comfort and pleasure in your life. It also indicates that having friends in your life can be something which comes naturally to you, because this also area indicates the natural reservoir of the face. It indicates that at times of illness, the body can recover fast, especially because wood energy is pretty strong. If you're gauging through thick set of eyebrows, it means that ability to process toxins well is also something which is his natural trait. But one of the strong features which is a landmark feature on his face is thick eyebrows, and herein it's important that you zoom into the past picture, because in the current picture you're going to see a transformation which will be an intense transformation from earth element to metal element. Once I go there, I'll definitely tell you. But here the two aspects that you notice most firmly is the thick eyebrows. There is cheek padding. Of course, there is intense fire too in his eyes. If you see, there are the shen area, which means this particular area. This has that set of fire which is very necessary. It's a mark of a person who wants that sense of attraction, who wants you to notice. And this is something which you'll notice in most of the performers, even in actors, that they have this sense of strong fire energy that act as a great pull, and he is a great puller for the crowd as well. He even though says that he may not need attention now because he has become so famous, but his very element inspires him, it fuels him to be noticed, and it's nothing wrong about it. When you have a sense of fire energy, it means there is a sense of attraction that you draw, and there is a sense of expectation that people should notice you. And that means you have to give yourself opportunity to perform, because when you perform, you are going to be noticed, you are going to be seen, and that being seen of yours, of your element, is something that propels or feeds your element, right? So it's important that you also notice the aspect of fire on the face, right? So on the Virat Kohli's face, you could observe these three elements being pretty prominent. Let us now go to Rohit Sharma's face, and herein you'll observe slightly different eyebrow pattern, right? This pattern is pretty much slanting, right? Pretty much slanting and going very deep. Even after the end of the eye corner, the eyebrow is extending so far. Right herein, if you observe Rohit Sharma's face, and eyebrows are very much reflective of your thinking patterns. And here in the Rohit Sharma's face, if you see, the pattern of the eyebrows is a little is going from here, and then there is a bump, right? There is a bump that you could feel. It's not a regular set of eyebrows, and this indicates that his thinking patterns could be pretty unique. It's not as thick as Virat Kohli's eyebrows, and that indicates that they both possess different set of element into their personality, but there is a sense of bumpiness in the set of eyebrows, and that indicates that unique thinking patterns in him. Again, one of the other things that you will see on his face, which is prominently visible, is his ears, which are significantly long. And once you have a strong set of ears, that indicates a strong presence of water energy in you. Large set of ears also corresponds with the strong risk-taking ability, and that is something which you'll notice in his captaincy as well, in his leadership as well. And again, with the earth pretty decent on his face, it indicates that he values relationships, he values family, right? And earth you can gauge from the aspect of flesh on the face, which is something which is decent enough to indicate that earth is quite or pretty much visible. Also his ear, also his mouth area is pretty full, right? You could see both of the upper lip and the lower lip significantly, which again is a sign that earth is decent. And this indicates that the aspect of maintaining that closeness in the group, caring for the support group, caring for his players, is something that comes natural for him, right? The aspect of Rishabh Pant, if I see, one of the strong features that you see on his face is that there are sharp edges on the face, right? The eyebrow is pretty sharp, has a sharp ending, right? The lip area has a pretty sharp ending. And when there are sharp features on the face, also the eyes represents the most sense of fiery element. When I see in between all of them, it has the aspect of that fury approach in his lifestyle, right? And that is something which you could observe from his batting style also, wherein he plays pretty fearless. So the sharp edges is something which you will see on his features of the face, and that is what makes him pretty fiery in nature, pretty fearless in nature. Even his strong fire energy propels him to go for speed, and that's where even his preference towards car driving is towards speed. So he loves speed in general, and fire has the aspect of flaring up things. It has the aspect of making a mark. It has the aspect of drawing in the attention, and that's where this guy draws a lot of attention. And it's one of the amazing things that he possesses, which is his fire element. But again, you'll also observe that one of the other things that you will see on his face is it's a pretty square face, right? You can put a square and it'll pretty much fit into the square. When it's a square face, or you could see the prominent jawline here, it can indicate that the roots of the face, that is the jaws, are pretty strong in nature, which means that the roots of his life are pretty strong, which means that the belief sets what he cultivates are pretty strong. This indicates that he can be even stubborn at times. If you look at the side profile of his chin, it is a little tilted from the upside, which again, chin represents your will. And when you have a strong chin, you are strongly stubborn. And this is something which you'll find in his interviews as well, where he has said that he is pretty stubborn, and he likes to stick to his belief. And one of the ways, or one of the important learnings that you can draw from his life, especially after his accident, was how quickly he recovered. He was meant to recover in like 24 months. He got himself recovered in like 14 months because of his stubbornness, because of his willpower, which was pretty strong, right? So these are the old pictures, and now I'm going to go to the new pictures, which is here. And what I'll do is I'll put this picture of his that is his this picture. Let me just select the picture. I think, yeah, now I can select that, right? So I'll put one of these pictures here, and one of his here, so that we can locate and cultivate the difference that they have gone from what they were to what they are now, right? This is the old pictures where I have shared with you some of the findings. Now we'll see what aspect he has grown, what aspect he has left out in his past, right? Because that is one of the insightful learnings that you'll gain through. Okay, so one of the things that is very prominent that you could see on his face, especially if you compare, there is intense fire in his eyes, right? Intense fire you can gauge through noticing the aspect of Shen, right? And this fiery eyes indicates willing to do something great. And it is indicative of a person that who wants, or who is willing to take risk, who is willing to be seen, who is willing to be noticed, but he is willing to make a difference. And that is something which you can observe when he's on the cricket field batting, and wanting to make a point that he is great in what he does. And there is that immense sense of confidence which you'll find in people who have immense sense of fire energy into them, which is definitely into his traits. One of the other things that you'll observe on his face is that there is a sense of there is the eyebrow set are thick. Definitely in all the sportsmen, you'll feel, or you'll observe, that they have a strong decent sense of eyebrow thickness, because that represents that they can fight and they are physically more active. People who have strong set of eyebrows, it indicates that they like to be physically active. And sportsmen are nothing but that. Even sportswomen have a strong set of eyebrows, and it's a good sign of a strong liver chi into your personality. But here, point to notice more is that he has the nature of his eyebrow are more on the straighter side rather than on the curvier side, right? And when you have strong eyebrow coupled with the straighter set, it's a little angled but more straight, and then angled from here, right? More straight, and it's not a curvy one, right? You cannot draw a curve out of his face, because that area will be left. It's very much the straighter one. And when you have straighter set of eyebrows, it indicates that your patterns of thinking are more logical, are based more on logic. But because he has strong set of fire energy, it can mean that he often can overdo things at times, and which you'll observe from his batting itself, right? That at times he can be a little fiery, he can take a little extra risk, which can pay off at times, which may not pay off at times. But he goes for it because fire is the quality that differentiates him from taking like huge risk and for wanting to be a performer, right? That is something which is there. But one aspect that is being pretty strong and that is being backed with the strong fire is his logical set of thinking, which kind of indicates that there is a process behind what he does. He gives a thought to what he does. It's not like going haywire with things. So that is supported by his face, which adds a great strength to his face, right? That is something which you could see when you see his face, right? And one of the other things which you'll observe from this face to this face is that there is a little more earth that is added onto his face, not a significant chunk. Earth you can gauge by the amount of flesh and how the nature of mouth or lips are. It is a decent increase, but one of the aspect that has remained common is his jawline. The jaws are pretty strong and it's very prominent jawline, and that indicates that roots of the face are strong. And because of sharp edges on his face, even sharp edges here, which you'll observe downstream here, sharp edges on the face enhances the fire chi into your life, and that means that you want to seek more fire, you want to seek more attention, you have that tendency of being a performer, and that is what you strive for. You strive for the experiences that are thrilling, that are out of the world, that are giving you feeling of having an adrenaline rush, right? So that is what he seeks more. But because he's backed by the straighter set of eyebrows, there is a thinking behind what he does. So that is a great strength, right? So those are one of the elemental qualities, or few of the elemental qualities that you can learn from his face. Right now, let us go to Rohit Sharma's face and see what are the things that he has added, what are the things that he has maybe cut down a little. So one of the very prominent things which you'll observe on his face, and this is something which you'll observe in most of people's face whose life gets a little comfortable over the years, especially on the financial front, is that the flesh on the face gets added more, and that represents that aspect of earth. And herein you can see the amount of flesh padding, cheek padding that has been there. This is a recent picture versus here where there is a significantly less cheek padding. It could indicate that the comfort in the life has increased, the earth has increased, the value of family, the value of relationships have increased. It indicates that the sense of people understanding has increased, right? That is one of the aspects. But it also indicates once you add earth, there is a sense of regret. There is a sense of that keeping pain for longer periods, and this you'll observe once he mentions that he wants to win a 50 over World Cup, but he hasn't been able to accomplish that. The pain of preserving that guilt or regret, having been close to the finals of the 2023 World Cup, can haunt him a little, and that is something which is a nature of earth. So earth is an archetype of a mother element, and mother worries for their children. And similarly, when you cultivate more of earth into your nature, there are a lot of positives, but one of the drawbacks of having strong earth or having more cultivated earth is that you tend to worry a lot. You may tend to preserve a lot of emotions of the past, and you may not come out of it. So that is one of the challenges of this particular element, that they may find it difficult to come out of past guilt or kind of regret. So that is one of the things. But then having been supported with a lot of earth, it also indicates that how much he wants to give back, or how much he wants to mother people in his life, and that is something which you'll observe in how he wants to groom the youngsters, how he always surrounds himself with youngsters like Rishabh Pant, like Akshar Patel, like some of his fellow teammates whom he wants to groom. And that is one of the qualities of Earth, where Earth wants to mother people around them. And here mothering doesn't only come with offering them food, comfort, care. It also comes with grooming people around you. So if you have a lot of earth into your face, make sure that you're grooming others, you're giving food to them. Giving food and sheltering people is something that comes naturally for earth element. So if you have an earth mother or an earth partner, it's important that you recognize their contribution in their life, because they definitely will make you better people. But it's important that you fuel their earth, you recognize and give them importance, and feed them some fire of your emotional happiness so that they feel full into their life, right? But herein, one of the aspects that I said earlier also was the eyebrow patterns, which is a slightly unique or a bumpy one, going from here, then coming down, then a little up, right? It's like pattern is like this of his eyebrows, right? So once you have this sense of eyebrow patterns, it represents unique patterns of thinking, and it can represent thinking out of the box. I explained about his ears, which has grown or is pretty big with comparison to the other features on the face, right? Also, the aspect of his strong earth is being strengthened by the fact that he has a significantly visible fuller upper lip and the lower lip as well. So that again confirms of his strong earth element into his personality, right? So those are few of the things that are significantly visible. Now, on the Virat Kohli's face, you'll observe an intense transformation from how he was to what he is today. And this is really an interesting learning of face reading, where there was strong cheek padding, strong flesh on the face, which has been turned into a pretty metallic face. He has lost a lot of weight from the past, let's say 2013, maybe 12 years or 11 years, when he have decided to transform his physical body. He has he was earlier a pretty big foodie, and he used to consume a lot of fast foods like chole bhature and everything, which was his staple diet, especially till the time he was in his 20s, like 21 up till 21. But later on, he decided that he is going to change himself, he's going to transform himself, and he's going to be more aesthetically correct with his diet. And in reports and interviews that have been published, it is being said that he used to weigh his food up till a certain extent to eat that, so that his health is maintained at the optimum level. And that is one of the metallic traits, right, where once you observe that face has lost a lot of cheek padding, or it has refined itself a lot, where if you see Virat's face, it has refined itself, right? If you observe this face, it's a little chubby, it's a little disorganized in totality. But if you observe this face, right, it has a lot of refinedness into it. And when a face has a lot of refinedness into it, it means that you have added more metal into your life. And metal is nothing but it indicates a sense of perfection that you're striving for. This you'll observe not only in his life, right? You'll observe in his batting also, the amount of practice that he does, the amount of gym training that he does, the amount of food that he consumes, and that to a very perfect level, not an inch here and there. And that means there is a sense of strive for perfection. You can imagine metal element as a sword, which is pretty unique, which is pretty refined in its shape. Ignore my drawing because that is not at all refined, and I never used to score more than 50, I believe, out of 100. So I was never good at drawing. I won't ever be good at drawing. I hope that I may be, but I know that I have I'm not blessed with drawing things well, so ignore the sword. But imagine the sword, which is pretty refined, and once you have a face that is pretty beautiful, pristine, that is refined, it indicates that there is a strong sense of metal into one person's life. And when a strong metal element is governing you, it indicates that you want to strive for perfection. And this means this metal cannot only come by itself. It means that there are aspects of influences that he may have drawn through, which means that he may have been influenced by his partner, right? And Anushka is his wife, who is a Bollywood celebrity, one of the renowned stars of the country. And he has got a lot of metal from her, actually. And in face reading or in life, your partner influences you the most with respect to the positive terms or even on the negative terms. You take or draw in the energies from the people you're surrounding yourself with. And he has drawn a lot of metal from her. And even in his interviews, you will see that he has mentioned quite a lot about how she has uplifted and elevated his life, how he has become more of a perfectionist, more of a pristine and clean person after her arrival. And that is purely being reflected on the face. The face you see here versus the face you see, there is an immense difference of maturity, of how much earth was there here, how much metal has grown. But herein it indicates that having lost the earth, significant earth on the face, it can indicate that he may have lost down on a lot of his close friends who were earlier there, and now he has this ability to refine whom he need to keep versus whom he doesn't need to keep in his life. And that is definitely one of the drawbacks of being extremely famous, is that people want to be with you, but you have to filter out whom you need to keep yourself not with, or whom you have to distance yourself with, right? So that is something which he has learned because he has grown metal. And his wood element still remains very prominent, which means the eyebrow thickness is there here also, and it is pretty much there. So this means the primary element that he is governed with is strong wood, which is pretty pushy in nature, which is pretty competitive in nature. And he wants to have a sense of competition in each match he plays. And challenge is something which inspires him to do well. Of course, there is a strong sense of fire as well, which you could see from his face. The eyes reflect the amount of fire that he carries, and how much crowd or having a crowd during his performance boosts his confidence is something which is self-evident. But he also has a strong sense of fire, but wood is also there. So the combination of fire and focus, which you can gauge through his eyes, is something that makes him an eminent personality in what he is today. So those are some of the extremely great traits that he possesses. So if you have strong wood energy, which he has, coupled with a secondary element of metal, it can be one of the blessings that you're born with. But it's important that you keep your primary element with you, as all of these gentlemen have done, and to relish those into your life, right? So I have discussed a lot about these elements in this video. I hope this video was fruitful for you, to deliver you some insights about how you can learn, or what some of these elements out of the 5 elements mean. And if you want to learn more about 5 elements, more about the roots of it, more about how you can view it, you can watch my long form content video, the other video, where I have discussed from earth to fire, all the 5 elements, how you can spot them on the face, what their meaning is, how ancient Chinese have discovered and observed few of the cycles of the nature, the seasons, the humankind, and how they have arrived with 5 elements by giving them these sets of names and the energies they correspond with. It is going to be a fascinating and insightful video for you, for sure. I am 100% sure of it. And for this video, I'm going to just say thank you, And if you want to learn face reading, if you want to get a face reading, you can get and learn both at chehraspeaks.com, which means it will let you open a web page of my website, and I'll also make sure to attach a description in the description, the link of the site, so that you have easy access to it. You can go through the website to gauge what I offer with respect to the kind of readings that I do. You can also gauge a course which is having a specific web page wherein I have explained in detail about the 5 elements, about the facial traits. You can also go through my other videos in this channel itself to explore more about the face reading. And with that, I'll say goodbye. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If yes, give it a thumbs up. If you feel some of your friends enjoy these amazing celebrities, share this video with them, because it can add some of the face reading insight to them as well. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day ahead. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't had already, and have a lovely day ahead. Bye bye.